This amazing story takes place in Kenya, in a place called Amboseli National Park. There, Kenneth Olanashu, a seasoned ranger, and his team had an important job. They looked after the elephant family that lived in the park. Their mission? To keep these magnificent creatures safe from poachers and ensure their well-being. The elephant herd in Amboseli National Park had about 40 members, and everyone was thrilled when they got the news that one of the female elephants, named Peru, was going to have a baby. Imagine their excitement at the thought of a new baby elephant joining their family. But there was a long road ahead for Peru. Her pregnancy would last an astonishing 22 months. Unlike a zoo, where it's easier to check on pregnant animals, this was a wild park. So the park's veterinarians couldn't examine Peru as closely as they wanted. Instead, they kept a close eye on her from a distance, paying attention to any unusual behavior. As time passed, they noticed that Peru was becoming more withdrawn, even from her own daughter. This was a bit concerning, but what really worried them was the sight of blood. The rangers had seen Peru losing blood over several days, and they feared she might have a miscarriage. At Peru's age, that could be very dangerous for her. One day, Kenneth spotted something unusual in the distance. A group of elephants seemed agitated, stamping their feet around a big marula tree. Something didn't feel right. It was getting dark, and the visibility was poor, but Kenneth decided to drive his jeep closer to find out what was happening. He shone his headlights on the tree, and the elephants turned towards him. There, behind them, was Peru, breathing heavily, with one leg on the other and her head tilted to the side. She looked confused and disoriented. Kenneth knew he needed help, so he called for backup. He stayed in his car to watch over the herd because if Peru was hurt, other elephants might react aggressively. When the veterinarians arrived, it was already nighttime. The buzzing of mosquitoes filled the air and the sky was lit up with countless stars. Peru was examined under that solitary marula tree. A young vet gently touched her thick, rough skin, feeling her heartbeat and her breathing. The rest of the elephant family gathered around, waiting anxiously. They knew the vets and trusted them, recognizing them by their faces. But when the vet began drawing blood, something unexpected happened. Peru's leg twitched uncontrollably, and all the other elephants started moving and jostling to get a better view. Peru's firstborn daughter was right at the front, looking confused. They had all known that something was wrong for hours. The vet carefully took the blood samples to check for imbalances and nutritional problems. Most importantly, they needed to find out if Peru was sick and how her body was handling the pregnancy. It turned out Peru was severely dehydrated, and there was a chance of a blood clot somewhere in her body. So they connected her to a drip and gave her some medicine. They set up spotlights to work under, and Kenneth, still swatting at mosquitoes, supervised the team. Together they stabilized Peru, and she slowly regained consciousness. The good news was that she didn't have a fatal illness, but they still didn't know what caused her illness, and that concerned Kenneth. That night, Kenneth didn't want to leave Peru alone, so he slept in his jeep, grabbing moments of sleep whenever he could. Whenever he saw the elephants move, he would wake up, start the car, and follow them wherever they went. For the next week, Kenneth kept a close watch, occasionally joined by Aziz, a young aspiring vet. Aziz felt nervous but willing to work extra hours. He wanted to make a difference and knew the responsibility on his shoulders was huge. Then the big day arrived. Peru was about to give birth. Kenneth was on duty and had fallen asleep in his car, with Aziz by his side. Aziz knew the importance of keeping an eye on the elephants at night because this was usually when they gave birth. The car's headlights dimly lit up the area. Aziz watched through binoculars as Peru became restless and stood up. He woke Kenneth, who took the binoculars from him. Kenneth congratulated his young partner, hoping for a smooth delivery, and it was a miracle. They witnessed an elephant calf being born in less than half an hour, but there was another surprise in store for them. Just as Kenneth was reporting the good news, another elephant calf emerged. Peru had given birth to twins. This was incredibly rare, and Kenneth, a deeply religious man, felt like he had witnessed a miracle. However, the joy was short-lived. Aziz spotted something unusual through the binoculars. One of the calves was bleeding. Kenneth was shocked and alarmed. The situation became critical over the next few hours. Kenneth had to rally the veterinary team, waking them up early in the morning. Fortunately, everyone answered the call because they were determined to help the injured calf recover. Peru allowed the veterinarians to examine her newborns even though they couldn't explain the cause of the injury. They cleaned up the calf, made sure it didn't get infected, and kept a close watch. Thankfully, with everyone's efforts, the little elephant calf made a full recovery. the team was relieved and happy, knowing that their hard work was an important step in the conservation of these incredible creatures. This story shows the dedication and teamwork of the rangers and veterinarians in Amboseli National Park, who go above and beyond to protect and care for these majestic elephants, even in the face of rare and challenging situations. If you found this incredible story of perseverance and wildlife conservation inspiring, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with more amazing stories, educational content, and ways you can contribute to the protection of our planet's precious animals. Join our community of nature enthusiasts and advocates today.